Next, my name is Vineet Malhotra. Well, Pakistan has attempted various tricks to attempt and wreak havoc in Jammu and Kashmir in the past 48 hours, all of which has, of course, failed. After a 3-day search operation, 3 terrorists, including a Jaish commander, Saifullah, were eliminated in the Kishtwar encounter, and warlike stores have also been recovered. This was done by the army and it has been discovered in Akhnoor. India lost a braveheart during an encounter in a Pakistani infiltration bid. Junior commissioned officer Subedar Kuldeep Chand of 9 Punjab Regiment has lost his life. Pakistan also attempted cover fire for infiltrations violating ceasefire in the Poonch region, which was met with a befitting response. So why is it that Pakistani activity has gone up in the past few days? Why is Pakistan attempting to push terror in Jammu and Kashmir once again? Let's first look at Jaish terrorists who the forces eliminated. We also tell you who Subedar Kuldeep Chand was as we pay tribute to this martyr. And then, of course, we take this up with our panelists. I'm going to go to the big screen and tell you what exactly and who exactly this top target that has been gunned down was. Saifullah was a Jaish-e-Mohammed commander. He was attacked in he was involved in various attacks, I beg your pardon. One of which is, of course, the July 16, 2024 attack in Desa Doda. 4 Indian Army soldiers, including Captain Thapa, were killed in this surprise ambush. And this is, of course, followed by another one just a month after that in Kokarnag in Anantnag. 2 soldiers and 1 civilian were killed in this particular ambush, and this took place on the 10th of August 2024, and that is the reason why activities are strictly monitored around the Independence Day. Again, in September, the month after August, it was Naidgam in Kishtwar, where this particular terrorist was responsible for the deaths of Naib Subedar Vipin Kumar and Sepoy Arvind Singh, and this was after a proper gunfight ensued between both the parties. So July, August and September, there was continuous unabated terrorist activities at the behest of this man. And again, in November as well, 2 village defense guards, Nazir Ahmed and Kuldeep Kumar, were kidnapped and killed in Kuntwara, Kishtwar. And this was once again done by Saifullah, who has been eliminated by the forces. It's a big victory. The same month, Naib Subedar Rakesh Kumar was martyred and 3 soldiers were injured in a fierce encounter in Keshwan in 2024. So how you can understand from the kind of attacks this man was perpetrating, it was important to neutralize him. His role, he had a strong contact with Jaish leadership in Pakistan. They were his mentors. He was involved in smuggling weapons, planning attacks and recruiting locals as well. So he was dangerous from a multiple standpoint. And India, of course, remembers its braveheart, Kuldeep Chand, who was a soldier with the 9 Punjab Regiment. He lost his life fighting these armed criminals. He was martyred in Akhnoor encounter, and we remember him and we, of course, hail him for his service. He died doing what he in fact loved doing, which was safeguarding and protecting the country from these terrorists. All right, we're going to in fact rope in some voices and try and understand what exactly they think is Pakistan is up to at this point in time. Joining us on the show is Professor Madhav Nalapat, Editorial Director of the Sunday Guardian, Major General A.K. Sivaj, former Chief of the Territorial Army and Defence expert, also with us on the program. Major General Dhruv Katoch, Director of the India Foundation, a defence expert, a regular on my program, is with us on the show here as well. Last but by no means the least, Mr. Amjad Ayub Mirza. He's a POK activist joining us on the program as well. Professor Nalapat, I'll begin with you, sir. Well, we've been over this many times before. It seems like deja vu in a lot of ways. Is Pakistan trying to, in fact, upset India once again? Is there a new modus operandi that they are working towards to start something with India? These terrorist infiltrations under the garb of ceasefire violations is something that India is not new to. But why is Pakistan doing this, sir? Is this to distract someone internally or distract someone externally?
Well, I'd like to say, Vineet, you're right on the second point. it is to distract externally. And the reality is that today, Pakistan is in terrible shape, really very bad shape. And frankly, when the entire country is in bad shape, the army is not in any position to really have an effective combat role. The point is that this is being done on behalf of China. Pakistan army has long been a satellite of the Chinese. They have moved away from the Americans and they have gone to the Chinese camp. And it's quite certain that China would like to keep India distracted from its own border and its own activities as of now across the line of actual control, for a simple reason that India has been very firm in responding to any effort by China to make incursions into the Indian side of the line of actual control. So, in my view, this has been ordered by the PLA as a distraction to keep India busy on the Western Front, while the Northern Front, their activities continue, basically reinforcements, building of new structures, and other things continue. And India is distracted in such a way that it slows down the very strong response in terms of infrastructure and in terms of force deployment that India has made on the border with, I mean, it's actually the India-Tibet border, but on the India-Tibet border, let me put it that way. So that's the point, but I think it's a great tragedy that we lost a brave heart in this operation, and it's really, each time we lose one of our great soldiers, one of our most, the most devoted soldiers in the world are Indian soldiers. It's a terrible loss to the whole country. And I think the whole country will mourn along with Newsx viewers and, and all of us about the loss of this brave heart. I'm very happy that Saifullah was finally eliminated. As you have correctly enumerated, he has been a constant source of thorn in India's flesh, and, and he has been the mastermind of several of these, and he's got an operational network. Now that he's eliminated, the reality is that that operational network will be split up into various groups, and only he would have known which groups are there and how to bring them together and how to have coordinated action. So quite frankly, it's a very heavy blow that's been administered, sadly at the cost of one of our very brave soldiers, a brave heart, but it's definitely a very significant gain for the Indian armed forces as they try and ensure that the India-Pakistan border remains secure beneath.
Absolutely right, sir. And General Katoch, as an expert in these matters and as someone who's observed, this behavior and this disposition, from Pakistan, what's your assessment right now? So what is Pakistan trying to do? Does this also, connotate some sort of a desperation on behalf of Pakistan? 5 to 6 encounters in the last 3 weeks alone?
Thank you, Vineet. Vineet, I think the underlying motive as far as Pakistan is concerned is to create instability in Jammu and Kashmir. And you see, if I go back right to 2019 when Article 370 was revoked, from that point onwards, a change started. And over a period of time, even the public there realized that it's not going to work the way it was working earlier. And I think this mindset change has reached such a proportion now that Pakistan is finding it increasingly difficult to change the narrative. And even if you notice what is happening in Jammu and Kashmir in the Union Territory today, while these incidences are taking place and these encounters are there, and while we are still losing soldiers, the brave soldiers, Subedar Kuldeep Chand, we have just lost him. I think if you look at a pattern over the last 5 years, a yearly pattern, you will find that the incidences are reducing, and that is because of reduced effectiveness of these groups. Now, while we may say they are reducing, I actually thought it would have been over by this time. 5 years is a long time post 2019, and I had given it till about 2022, 2023 to have eliminated.
General Katosh, there seems to be an issue with your network, so if you can log out and log in again. In the meantime, let me also rope in General Sivach into this conversation. General Sivach, more or less the same query from you as well, sir, as an observer of our defense arrangements and Pakistan's pathological obsession with India. How would you categorize these sporadic yet intervalled events that have occurred in the past 4 weeks?
There are two ways of looking at it. One is that, Pakistan will like that the maximum infiltration should take place before the certain winter, set of summer, and especially south of Pir Panjab. Because in north of Pir Panjab, the passes are still closed and it is difficult for the infiltration to take. But south of Pir Panjab, especially Rajouri Poonch area, Akhnoor sector, and Katwa sector, you have a chance of infiltration, and they are trying to make a lot of attempts. But what is more important is that this is being done because Pakistan is getting a lot of beating within Pakistan itself. What's happening in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, the Tariq-e-Taliban Pakistan is becoming very bold. They are losing ground in Baluchistan by Baluchistan Liberation Army. And you will also find the people in POJK and Gilgit Pakistan, especially Muzaffarabad, Mirpur, Kotli, Jhangar, Dadnial, Bagh, Pakistan, Punj. People coming out in the street doing chakka jam and shutter down and saying that they want to join India. So Pakistan is in a catch-22 situation. They want to divert the attention of their public. And that is also one of the main reasons that they are trying to pump in the terrorists in our side of border, which they are not succeeding. See, as far as on Kashmir Valley is concerned, if you see the track record of last about 5 years, there are only 30 to 40 terrorists which are left. The leadership of Lashkar-e-Toba, Jaish Mohammed, and Hizbul Mujahideen is completely wiped off. And you find the radicalization which was taking place in South Kashmir has reduced considerably. The grassroots level democracy has already come. District Development Council election, Panchayat election, Lok Sabha election, and Assembly election has already taken place. And you find people are extremely happy and they are feeling that they have lost the battle in Kashmir Valley. Now they want to activate the area which is south of Pir Panjab, because this they found it more lucrative, because we have also thinned out certain troops from here when we needed them in eastern Ladakh. However, that troops have been already filled. A uniform force has already come and taken over the area which they were operating of Rashtra Rifle. The police in Tigray was also disturbed, has also now become totally functional. But certainly they find this area slightly more lucrative for infiltration for three reasons. One is this is terrain is difficult. It is jungle, mountainous, with with natural caves very close to the line of control, and you find a sparse population. You also found that there are certain overground workers and sleeper cells trying to help the Pakistani infiltrators. So they have made use of their drones. They have tried to pump in some terrorists from this area. They may have slightly succeeded, no denying that fact. There seemingly looks to be about 40 to 50 terrorists in last about 1 year which have infiltrated south of Pir Panjab, and they are now trying to operate in this area. However, the counter infiltration grade on south of Pir Panjab is now become very effective. You find that hardly any attempt is being successful. The present attempt which was made in Akhnoor sector has been also been foiled, and we have lost a brave out Subedar Kuldeep Chand. But certainly we can say that this infiltration bid was foiled. But Pakistan is trying its best to pump in more terrorists to south of Pir Panjab. In 3 terrorists have been killed in Kishtwar. That infiltration has taken place almost about 2-3 weeks earlier, because these terrorists were operating there only. Now, the point which comes in my mind, Vineet, as to how do we deal with it? Pakistan will not mend its ways. They keep on sending terrorists. We keep on eliminating. They send fresh terrorists again. This is not the way to handle Pakistan. Now, Pakistan is the one, enemy which need to be taught lesson. And I feel that we have got 2-3 ways of ending. One is that you within your own country, you are doing what you are doing. Your counter-infiltration grid is very robust. Your counter-terrorism is also functional. And in case if the terrorists manage to get in, you are trying to eliminate. And very cleverly, what they are doing, they are operating in area which is basically Hindu dominated in south of Punjab to create tension, communal tension between Hindus and Muslims. That's a very important point which must understand in last about year plus. But what we need to do is that what can we do toward the Pakistan side, in the POK side? What we need to hit them there because we know the launch pad, we know their training areas, and we have where all and means to go and hit it. We have drones, we have UAV, we have Scud missile in Rafale. We must hit them there where it hurt. No point having this ceasefire, of 25th January 2021 effective once the Pakistan is not ready to accept it. Time and again they are violating this ceasefire just to pump in more terrorists, and then we are reacting to it. My point is when we know that there are a launch pad other side of the Pakistan, we must hit them there only before they even venture our
Right.
side. I having commanded a brigade on line of control in Mathak
You're absolutely right, sir.
Exactly.
You're absolutely right. So let me also open Mr. Mirza into this conversation. Mr. Mirza, with Pakistan on the boil internally as well, with Baluchistan and the attacks that have taken place on it in the last few days or weeks. Do you really think that they're in any position to orchestrate the kind of havoc they wreaked on us a few years ago?
Well, thank you very much for having me. And first of all, my condolences to the family of the fallen great Indian soldiers or soldier. Let me just mention in one sentence that on the 27th and 28th of March this year, within less than 48 hours, the Baloch militant groups launched 88 attacks on Pakistan armed forces in Balochistan itself. They captured all the highway routes and they erected barricades and spot checking and all that, and Pakistan has lost its writ in Balochistan. Second point is that China and Pakistan are now eyeing upon the natural resources in Gilgit-Baltistan as well as in Balochistan. Only day before yesterday in Islamabad, addressing the Miners Forum, international gathering was there, and Barrick company that is planning to dig gold in Rikodik in Balochistan was there, and the Prime Minister said that we are going to use these resources to pay off our debt. And these have created another wave of resentment. In Gilgit-Baltistan, the Awami Action Committee has called for a grand jirga of more than 40 organizations to decide how are they going to confront this new onslaught. Coming back to this infiltration, sir, please, honorable guests and panelists, let me inform you that Pakistani occupied Jammu Kashmir has now become the hotbed of jihadi terrorism like never before. Honorable panelists, sir, and Newsx viewers and Newsx team, thank you very much for bringing up Pakistani occupied Jammu Kashmir issue on your channel like no other channel. Let me remind you that the Pakistani occupied Jammu Kashmir Prime Minister has categorically said that his government is going to facilitate jihadis and jihad in Kashmir, not once, not twice, but on many occasions. Even yesterday, he has issued a similar statement. So the jihad now against this terrorism that is being labeled as jihad is now being conducted not as a khufia underground kind of mission of Pakistan Army. It is now the official policy of the government of Pakistani occupied Jammu Kashmir. Sirs, please, I beg you to pay attention to what is going on in Pakistani occupied Jammu Kashmir. Our people are now in prison. Sadakat Mughal Kashmiri, who had objected to the role of Pakistan Army in Neelam Valley using our 14, 15-year-old children to lift heavy weight supplies through the snowy mountain for delivery to the military post. On their way back, they came under an avalanche and were buried. Two of them were digged out alive, one died. Sadakat Mughal Kashmiri blamed the Pakistan military for using, they don't pay them anything, for using these Kashmiri kids to serve the army, because if they refuse, then their families will be in trouble, right? And they have arrested him and they have put him in. What kind of torture is he facing? They
Right, sir.
are letting mice,
Right, sir.
a big
So
rat.
we have a paucity of time. I really want to, in fact, get in a couple of lines from General Katoch as well. We lost his connection. General Katoch, welcome back, sir. So please pick up from where you left off. There was a problem with your network. Would love to hear from you before we wrap up.
Thank you, Vineet. Yes, actually, there was a power failure at my end. Now, because the time is short, I just want to sum up, state in very briefly. While what Pakistan has got a very clear motive in doing what it is doing, and we have got a ceasefire in place as far as both the armies are concerned. But I feel every time an infiltration attempt takes place, it is a violation of the ceasefire, and I think this should be made very clear to the Pakistanis. And Vineet, in your programs earlier, I have stated that we need to have a doctrinal approach to this problem. And the doctrine should be stated very clearly that any such movement or acts by the Pakistan military or by their terrorists will be treated as an act of war and responded accordingly. And we should have the full right after that to destroy all those enemy posts which are giving support to these groups. It is simply not a question of firing and trying to eliminate the terrorists. We have to start eliminating their supporters and put the fear of God into them. Once we do that, I think we will get total peace. And toward that extent, I presume we'll also be helping the people in Gilgit-Baltistan, because they are also facing the similar threats from the Pakistan military. But we need to get after the military. Once we do that, there will be peace. Vineet.
All right, we've run out of time. Appreciate everybody who joined us and weighed in on this important and emerging matter with Pakistan. We'll take a short break now. Be right back.